Oh my God, it's Ass Paris.
What comes to mind when you think of a good role model?
Well, obviously people who like work for me because my daddy gives me lots of money and we can afford to pay them, so that means I'll hire anyone. Right, Tinkerbell?
All right. Do you consider yourself a role model?
Is that like a joke? Of course I am. I mean, have you seen how hot I am?
So if you're a good role model, what have you done to show it?
You heard me. I want that stupid Statue of Liberty torn down. I don't care if it's like a historical monument. I want it torn down now. She's fat. Yeah, that whole Statue of Liberty incident, it was really annoying. I mean, they didn't even listen to me. Why wouldn't you listen to me? I'm Paris Hilton, okay? At least I tried though. I mean, it's sad. I hate the fact that whenever someone looks at a picture of the Statue of Liberty and they see that, it looks so bad. It looks like me before I had my plastic surgery. Yeah, my daddy says that I'm more plastic than woman now.
So anything else you've done?
OMG, yes. Oh my gosh, okay. So I wrote a book, right? And it's so beautiful. Like, it said, one of my favorite quotes is, like, when you're pretty, you can always get way prettier. Oh, was I being serious? That doesn't happen really. I mean, once you're ugly, then it's, too late for you, I guess. Unless you're me.
All right, I think we heard enough.
It's so nice meeting you, Kesha. Thanks for joining us. Okay. In today's society, many parents criticize Hollywood for turning celebrities that we look up to into bad role models. What do you have to say to that?
What?
A role model.
Someone who drinks?
No. A good role model.
Like my boyfriend.
I see a good role model.
He's my boyfriend.
What about him?
What boyfriend?
Okay.
You're confusing.
Okay. Do you think you're a good role model?
Yeah?
Why is that?
What?
Oh, Kesha, sweetie, you need to pick up the microphone. You
Oh.
weren't holding it? Okay. So, do you think you're a good role model? Like, what have you done to consider yourself a good role model?
Everything. I mean, I do everything. I do everything I want, and I smoke. Speaking of, where's my smoke? Thank you, servant. Okay.
So, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
What a shame so many people given the opportunity of a lifetime only to see it gone to vain. However, we do realize that not all celebrities are bad. We've all experienced a time where one kid in the class had to ruin it for everybody. Celebrities are oftentimes in the same boat. There was a time when my A-Push class could record lectures given by the teacher, but some kids posted them and pushed the privilege to the limit, so that opportunity ended for the whole class.
Celebs have a lot of influence on society because of all the social media that are really popular right now, like Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and YouTube. All of those social media sites pass on news, and also, celebrities are kind of portrayed as having the dream life, and they have, you know, what everybody wants: money, fame. So teens and societies like are really following what celebrities are doing because they have like the life that everybody wants. There are good influences in society, for example, you know, stars on Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, because they support things like Friends for Change, which is a program that that supports the environmental improvements. Bad press usually gets more attention. For example, the Boston Marathon that happened, they focused more on the terrorists and what they did and how they did it, and they even emphasized the names of the terrorists. But even though they did sort of show what the civilians did and the good civilians, they didn't emphasize who they were, what they did. They didn't show who they were. So that should be what changes, what should change. This is more attention getting also to celebrities, because a lot of people are interested in drama more than what good they did, because anybody can do good. But if somebody goes, like if some celebrity goes to jail, more people are going to look into that instead of the charity. And websites like Paris Hilton and TMZ and paparazzi, they capture the bad stuff that happens. For example, Britney Spears and her breakdown, that is still a popular thing around. And you don't hear what like Britney Spears donating, like nobody remembers that. Most people remember the bad things that happened to her. Some celebrities that have done a great job of influencing others would be Jennifer Lawrence, because she has taken part in many charities, and also Disney stars, because they influence little kids and to grow up to be, you know, better people and help the environment, donate to charity. There are also YouTube celebrities online, and an example would be the Vlogbrothers, and they have over 1 million subscribers. So with their viewers, they use that as an advantage, and they started a thing called the Project for Awesome, and they have donated money to help people in need, and they have donated over $100,000 for charities, and that is why they are really good influences to society.
What do you think of as far as celebrities being good role models?
I think a lot of them have been able to successfully influence society in a way that benefits most. For example, Demi Lovato has now run an effective campaign to guide young teens to embodying positive self-image.
We are trying to argue that celebrities are good role models. However, we acknowledge that there are always some questionable characters. What is your take on that?
Well, there are always going to be negative influences in the media, but they can always be looked at in a way that expresses examples of what not to do.
In my professional opinion, I believe that celebrities have a beneficial aspect on society because they bring glamour and intrigue to the lives of daily people, which helps inspire them to not be like that. We all don't want to be like Lindsay Lohan. So it inspires you to stay off drugs and do your job, which keeps society functioning at a beneficially acceptable level.
Another point is brought up. High schoolers tend to be more heavily influenced by the media than younger kids. This may be an effect of peer pressure and trying to fit into high school, but I'm sure middle schoolers are influenced as well. At the middle school age, kids are only learning that the world around them is not as good as they thought it was. This leads to kids being influenced earlier and earlier in age. Teen Inc. mentions that 77% of Americans think celebrities have too much of an influence on girls. Based on a poll in 2002, 40% of 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds have tried losing weight, and by the time they were 13, 53% of girls were unhappy with their physical appearance. These girls are influenced by superstars like Kate Moss using vast amounts of drugs, and Charlie Sheen, well, with his life, and Lindsay Lohan and her many arrests and fails with rehab. 88 to 92% of top movies since 1995 have contained tobacco use and inappropriate relations. In retaliation, programs have grown, such as Above the Influence, run by the National Office of Drug Protection. Programs like this use the media for good instead of making drugs and alcohol seem acceptable to use. Even though there are bad influences, there are programs and celebrities that show up in the media that show kids that drugs, alcohol, and other bad influences aren't all that. When those positive influences show up, there's positive feedback from viewers.
Do you think celebrities have a good influence on teens today or not?
Well, it depends. If there are celebrities who make good choices and are good role models, then I would say yes. But there's a lot of them out there that don't make good choices and would be bad for students today to look at and try to emulate.
How do you see the media influencing kids?
It's kind of the same thing as the celebrities. I think media in general tends to glorify celebrities and make them seem like hero figures. So if celebrities are good, then that's a good thing, but most of them, a lot of them are in the news because they're making bad choices. So in that case, it's bad for the youth of today to be looking at them as any type of role model.
What did you observe from your experience as a 7th grade English teacher, the way your students were influenced by powerful people?
I don't think that in middle school they're really influenced that much yet. I think that happens more as kids age and get into high school. In 7th grade, kids are still sort of between being little kids and big kids, teenagers, so they, I don't think they're quite as influenced, probably more by sports heroes or people that are really famous than anything else. They're not really listening to music as much yet, so like the music industry, those types of celebrities don't have as big an influence on them. So I think it's more in high school where you see that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Paige brings up a good point. Even though there are good influences, the celebrities who do bad things are the ones who wind up on the media. In a way, it's the media's fault. They like to get to the good, juicy gossip that will enhance their programming. If they mentioned all the good some famous people do, there would be a more positive outlook on the influence of celebrities as a whole.
I think overall, celebrities are neither positive nor necessarily negative. I think America's sort of obsession with celebrity is kind of a negative thing, that we spend more time looking to these people to be role models instead of simply providers of entertainment, which in a lot of ways is what they are. I do think that they do have, certain celebrities have the power to do positive and influential things in American society, such as, support causes or donate money to causes or things like that, which I think is definitely a positive good. But I think America's obsession with celebrity is more damaging to society than necessarily the celebrities themselves.
Today we have the pleasure, yet again, of chatting with Dr. Noelle O'Connor of the Limerick Institute of Technology in Ireland.
I'm really looking at how celebrities such as, David Beckham could be used to promote London, for example, or as we saw yesterday in the conference presentation, I had Arnold Schwarzenegger promoting LA. And very interestingly, I'm looking at the positive elements of celebrity and what they can do, and then how it links into a destination.
If you look at certain products, by very famous sports people, fashion industry, suddenly they do something wrong.
Yes.
And, that company just no longer wants their brand associated with that celebrity. What would a region do? Does it have an effect?
I'm sure it would have, but if the celebrity does something bad, will that automatically be bad for a destination? If you pick celebrities that have been picked doing bad things, such as Kate Moss a few years ago, she didn't lose any of her contracts. But if her contracts had been with a destination brand, that may have been different, but it would depend on what she was caught doing. But obviously, it wouldn't be good for the brand either way, and it might have an issue with sustainability in the long term. And again, you have to, if the brand starts off small, you could build on the brand as the movie, the film, the TV star becomes more and more successful. You saw Steve Crocodile Hunter in Australia done it.
Steve Dundee?
No, Steve Irwin, and he died sadly about 2 or 3 years ago, and he was just a very kind of good day type of Australian guy. Right. He'd promote himself, movies, whatever, and now his daughter, Bindi, has been used in America for Australian type films. So that's a brand that grew from nothing to a huge multi-Australian dollar industry, and it's still being sustained even though he's no longer with us.
Celebrities are catalysts for those who follow them. There are influences like Bono, Bill Gates, and Angelina Jolie. Bono spends his money and extra time to promote charities and help them all over the world. Bill Gates has sold his billion-dollar company to become a full-time philanthropist, not to mention he is an intellectual model for students all over the world. Angelina Jolie travels to poor developing countries to provide aid, food, and medical care and homes to needy children. Angelina Jolie has also recently gone through a double mastectomy. She had over an 80% chance of developing breast cancer, but she didn't want her adopted children to have to worry of a life without a mother and her possibly dying. So she got the breast tissue removed and got implants. She's a strong woman who the ladies can look up to. By her doing this selflessly and going to the public with it, she has pioneered the way for other women to follow. Now women don't have to be concerned with a mastectomy until Angelina Jolie did it. Her influence on women is huge, and with her adopting multiple children, help with third world countries, and her bravery, she is a true hero.
Go